This is the Perfectionism Project, the only podcast created specifically for perfectionists who are building businesses. I'm your host, Sam Laura Brown, perfectionism expert and entrepreneur. I teach perfectionists how to plan properly, consistently follow through, and rest without guilt so they can build profitable and fulfilling businesses without burning out. I've helped over 1,000 perfectionist entrepreneurs do exactly that inside my program, Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. If you're tired of procrastinating, overthinking, and half finishing your ideas, you're in the right place. Now let's dive in. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Get Out of Your Own Way series. I was so excited to be sharing this with you today, and I just want to mention I am sitting on my bed in our bedroom because Steve is home. He's out in the living room. He just got a new job as a paramedic. He is already a paramedic, but he got a different position and he's doing study. And there's just something about being recorded, or not being recorded, recording a podcast episode, but I might be getting overheard, even though I'm not even saying anything embarrassing, but there is just something in my perfectionist brain that does not want to be overheard when I'm recording episodes or have other people listening in. So I just said to Steve, I'm going to go to our bedroom and just recorded that. So I just wanted to mention that because, I don't know, I think there's a good chance you can relate to that. And that is okay. You don't have to be able to create stuff in front of everyone else and like all of that. It's so important to be able to work with your perfectionist brain and change your perfectionist thinking, but also just put yourself in situations that support you to be able to do the things you want to do. So with that said, this is part 3, and today I'm going to be sharing something that I'm so excited to be inviting you into. In this series, we have talked about why you're getting in your own way. The first part was on the 3 reasons why you get in your own way in your business. And that even though you're smart, you're intelligent, you're full of potential, you have so much knowledge about how to build your business, but you're not doing the things you need to do consistently and without overthinking, without procrastinating, without burning yourself out, that is just happening for 3 reasons. 1, you're scared you won't reach your potential and that your best won't be good enough. That's the ultimate perfectionist fear. And that makes us get in our own way and not give our best effort for fear of finding out we don't have as much potential as we believe ourselves to have. Number 2 is that you don't have enough clarity. You're not clear on your goals, the bigger picture of what you're doing, what to work on when you do have work time. Like everything feels important. You should have done all of it like months ago, if not years ago. And you're just missing a level of clarity that allows you to be able to get things done. And then number 3 is that you're relying on inspiration and motivation to be able to get things finished. And I love working in an aligned, flowy way. But what you will find if this is you is that in terms of relying on motivation and inspiration is that you have a lot of half finished things. You have great ideas. You have literally no shortage of ideas. But then you stop yourself. And what this whole series is about, getting out of your own way, is about how to stop stopping yourself. So in this episode, what I want to share with you is something that is just so exciting, that is going to help you put into practice what I talked about in part 2 of the series. So in part 2 of the series, I shared the 3 simple steps for getting out of your own way. To set a growth goal, number 1, to set a growth goal. This is a goal that invites you to grow, a goal that invites you to release your perfectionism handbrake, to shift your perfectionist thinking, and to be someone who is showing up and supporting themselves to do so, not from a place of should and all of that pressure we put on ourselves as perfectionists, but you are invited to step into that best version of yourself, that self-trusting version of yourself that isn't on your own back all the time and just nitpicking every idea. That's why, part of why we stop ourselves is we have a great idea and then we get into our heads of like, okay, but should I make it more strategic? How we just go into all of these smart ways to stop ourselves instead of trust the idea that we had, trust ourselves to execute it, and trust ourselves to be able to handle however it's received by the world. And if that isn't favorably, to be able to bounce back from that. And if it is received really, really well and we become successful and then we're unrelatable to those around us, that we'll be able to handle that too, and to find new people that we can connect with. And it's so powerful to have that growth goal. The second step is to plan your week in a way you can actually follow through on. And the things you put in your plan, to have those things be the things that will get you to your growth goal. So I call them needle movers. And when you're planning properly as a perfectionist, you will be doing that by power planning your week. There are 3 simple steps to power planning. Anyone can learn them. It's a flexible planning method. So you can have the satisfaction of ticking off a to-do list without the overwhelm of a to-do list. It really brings together everything about how your perfectionist brain works and how to shift your thinking, and puts it into a personal development and also productivity tool so that you can get shit done without burning out and overthinking and procrastinating. And also so you can notice when you are getting in your own way and then do the personal development work, do the self-coaching. I teach this inside PGSD, how to self-coach and get coached by myself, be able to shift those perfectionist thoughts that are making you get in your own way so you can see that clearly when it's happening and get back out of your own way. I'm obsessed with power planning. I want you to be power planning. If you can relate to what I talk about in this series, you want to be power planning. It is just so good. And then step number 3 is to get guilt-free clean rest to fuel yourself up to do the brave and courageous and tedious things that you might need to do to build the business that you want to be building. And when you have a growth goal, you're power planning your week so you can actually follow through on your plans and they get you to your goal and allow you to do the personal development work with your perfectionist brain, and you're getting clean rest, you will be out of your own way. You will be showing up and you will be treating your business like a real business instead of like a hobby, and getting clients, customers, marketing consistently, selling without fear, and feeling confident. Like you'll be able to feel so much more confident in what you do. I know we perfectionists, with our procrastinating, we try to get more knowledge to feel more confident. And then it's that whole thing of, what do they call it? Like the Dunning-Kruger effect, where essentially the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And so the more you learn, the less confident you feel because you realize how much more there is to learn. And so Perfectionists Getting Shit Done, and what I'm going to be inviting you into specifically within the program, is all centered around how to do the mindset work practically as a perfectionist and be very focused on making plans, following through with them, like actually becoming that person who does things, and then having the mindset work happen alongside that to support that, rather than just getting a bunch of knowledge. Like this podcast really helps you to understand what's happening with your perfectionist brain and feel seen and feel that there is a solution. But inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done, that is where we do that work and have you make those shifts instead of just understand intellectually what those shifts are. So what I want to share with you today, what I want to invite you into is something that I haven't actually offered in this way in PGSD since 2023. And I don't know when I will be offering this again. And it's actually something that one of our PGSDers in June, just after she signed up, she'd actually been in PGSD way back when it was a membership initially. I've had the program, been running it since 2019. And she left, and then she came back and was like, I'm just so ready to do this work again on my perfectionist brain and just be out of my own way. And she shared in the PGSD forum and said, like, is there any chance we can do something together over the summer? Because I love in the past when we've done things together as a community to get out of our own way, essentially. And since then, I've really been thinking about like, yes, I really want to do something together live as a community specifically. And like, what's that going to be? And just as I've been in the PGSD forum, coaching our PGSDers and seeing what would really benefit our current PGSDers, and also for anyone new who wants to be inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done, who's ready to get out of their own way, what is something that I could offer and do to really invite you in and to have you have now be the time that you get out of your own way. So what we are going to be doing inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done is the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. This is a much loved challenge in PGSD. One of our PGSDs, Erica, I saw her on today's call as I was telling our PGSDs about the challenge and announcing it to them. She has done the challenge. It's either 4 or 5 times, just because it was so helpful. The structure of it is super simple, super easy to follow. It's not adding anything extra to your plate. It's just helping you actually do the things you were already planning to do and do it with less overthinking and more ease. But she's done the challenge like 4 or 5 times inside PGSD, and in the forum you can see her reflections as she's done that in her persistence log, because it was so helpful to do. So that's what I want to invite you into. And I'm going to be sharing a bit more about it in this episode, because we get started on Monday. Monday, the 17th of August is the start date for the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. It's a 5-week challenge, and it's not a daily challenge where you have to be available to do something related to the challenge every day. And that is by design. We perfectionists, I mean, we love the idea of a daily thing, but we could be so all or nothing that then once you fall off the wagon with it, you just forget about it altogether. And everything that we do inside PGSD is designed to work with your perfectionist brain instead of against it, because literally the program is designed for a perfectionist who, when you come in, you aren't getting shit done. You are doing things, you're stopping and starting, things are getting completed, you're making some progress, but your business isn't where you know it could be. It's not a reflection of your potential, because you are struggling to follow through with your plans consistently without overthinking, without procrastinating, and without burning out. So everything that we do in PGSD, everything that I create for you in PGSD is designed with you in mind. And that I know with a challenge, you love a challenge, but you are also a bit scared that if you do a challenge, you might fall off the wagon with it. So I have designed a challenge that has the structure of a challenge and everything you love about a challenge. It's clear, it's simple, it's easy to follow, it's motivating, but without the all or nothing aspect that then has you feeling very quickly like you're falling behind. And then you feel like, whatever, I'll just wait till I'm more motivated or till there's a better time. Because I know in the 5 weeks of this challenge, there will be something that comes up in your life, most likely. Like life's, things happen, and you have a business, you have if you're like myself and the clients that we have in PGSD, you have a full plate of commitments in your personal life. And so it's so easy to be like, let me just wait for the perfect time. But now is the time you want to get out of your own way. The sooner you get out of your own way, the sooner you can close that gap between where your business is now and where you know it could be. And you can get the compound effect of that. Every extra week that you are out of your own way, you'll be having more success, feeling more successful, building that momentum, making more money, and having fun and so much more ease actually doing that. So I want to invite you into this challenge. I'm going to share the 3 parts just so you have an understanding about how it works. So this is a 5-week challenge. In week 1, we are going to be doing an exercise where you will align your vision and your values and your business, because oftentimes the reason we get in our own way is because we aren't actually wanting to do the things that we had planned to do. And I do a lot of coaching on this inside PGSD as well. Like literally I was coaching an Oscar coach today in PGSD on this, when we're like, am I getting in my own way? Literally just because I don't even want to do the thing that I'd planned to do? Or is it that I do want to do that thing, but that I need to figure out how to overcome the resistance to doing it? So if you have any of those questions, oh my God, you want to be in PGSD, you want to get yourself inside right now today. And that is what we're going to be looking at in the first week of the challenge. You will have an exercise to go through. I will guide you through it. We have a private podcast with all of the episodes. You can listen on the go. Super easy. I know you've got a busy life. You could also watch it on the PGSD website too. We've just updated the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge and made it into a course that you have on the website. So it's super easy if you want to follow along that way. But you will be able to make really important decisions for your business and make them with ease so that you're no longer trying to push through on the things that you don't even really want to be doing. We perfectionists have a lot of shoulds and have tos, and then you scroll on Instagram or TikTok or Substack or wherever you are, and you see everyone else doing all the things, and we just, without even realizing it, just adopt the mentality of like, oh, I should be doing that too, especially if we're super inspired by what we're seeing. And then we end up with this business model and business decisions and marketing strategy that we don't even want to be doing, but we feel like we should be doing it. And then we're not doing it consistently. So we feel bad that we're not doing it consistently. We should be being better at it, but do we even want to do it anyway? So if you relate to any of that, know that what we're going to be doing together in week 1 is resolving that so that you don't have any of that friction to following through that's simply just being caused by the fact that what you're trying to follow through on isn't aligned with what you actually want to do and your strengths and your values, like your values within business, but also your values within your life as a whole and like the kind of business that you want to have. So for example, for me, having time and being there for my kids and with my family, with my husband and Lydia and Jack and James and Liam, I have 4 little ones under 6. That is really important to me. And so that is part of my values, and part of how I make business decisions is considering that. And then within my business, a value that I have is being an example of the growth mindset and being your word and being able to follow through on things. And then if you're not going to follow through on something, communicating that to anyone else involved, things like that. So it's looking at what's really important. I have a really powerful exercise for you to help you get clear on really easily. I was literally just going through it again last week, but really, really easily identify where you might be just subtly out of alignment and getting that back into alignment. So that's week 1. You're going to be doing that and have time to sit with that and contemplate that, get coaching on that, get support with that, share that with other PGSDs as well if you want to. Part 2, we are going to have 3 weeks of getting shit done, or 15 days of getting shit done, as I call it in the challenge. I'm giving you 5 days of getting shit done and 2 days of rest. If you work a different number of days on your business, you're either full-time in your business or you might have a job or other things that you're doing, that you can just adjust that. But you will have 3 weeks where you're really focused on getting shit done, and you won't be doing something extra. You will be doing something that either you've been procrastinating on or overthinking, or maybe it's like you have a sales page or you want to do something with your email list that you've been meaning to do, or one of our PGSDs did like cleaning up her taxes, or her and she did another one with doing her patient notes that she needed to do as a therapist. Like there's so many different things you could do, but just have a think right now, if there is something that keeps getting dragged from one to-do list to the next, to the next, to the next, and you feel like even though like if you got it done this week, that'd be amazing, but really you're like, I should have really done that like a year ago. That is the perfect thing to be able to do with the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. And we have had so many different kinds of goals. And in week 1, you'll set the goal for the challenge. So that'll be super clear for you. If you're unsure, I'll guide you through exactly what to do. But in that second part of the challenge, you will be working towards your growth goal. You'll have set that already. You will be power planning, super simple and easy to learn. So you'll be power planning to support you to get shit done, and you'll be getting clean rest. So those 3 steps to getting out of your own way that I talked about in part 2, growth goal, power planning, clean rest, and shifting your perfectionist thinking with the help of those and with the help of coaching, that will all be happening in part 2. So excited for this. And I'm also going to be doing it too. I don't think I've mentioned that yet in this episode. So I'm going to be doing the challenge alongside you. And inside PGSD, one of our PGSD's favorite parts of the program is the PGSD forum. And you will have, this is optional if you want to lurk, that's okay. But we have the PGSD forum and you have your own persistence log. If you love community and getting supported and feeling accountable, and also just like documenting your breakthroughs that you're having and the progress that you're making, or if you have a struggle, just being able to actually have somewhere to share that with people who understand that and can support you with it or hold space for that. You will have your persistence log in the PGSD forum, where our PGSDs share their weekly reviews for their power planning, like typically on a weekly basis. And then you'll be able to share with the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. Throughout the challenge, I will be letting you know, hey, here's a great time to go to your persistence log. And I'll be reading everyone's persistence log and replying to it. And I will also have my own persistence log, my own Get Out of Your Own Way challenge goal. And I will be sharing, and hopefully if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know, like I'm not sharing the like buttoned up, here's me being amazing at everything in life version of things. Like I just share what my actual experience is. And I know you're going to learn so much from it, just seeing how I do the challenge, and also just like being able to witness the normal experience of getting shit done, and that it isn't always rainbows and daisies, and how to get it, like when you're getting in your own way, how to get back out of it, and just like all those things throughout it. So I am going to have my own persistence log and be posting in there at the same times that you'll be posting in there. Like I'm going to be following the challenge as well. I'm so excited for that. I've been listening back as we've been putting together the newer version of the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. I've been listening back to all of it and just like, I can't wait to go through it, and just the breakthroughs that I've had from listening to part 1 again, because I recorded it in 2023, so I haven't listened to it for a while. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need to hear. So I'm going to be doing it with you. Part 3. So we've got part 1 is getting into alignment so that you don't have that friction to follow through. Part 2 is 3 weeks of getting shit done. If you've got plans during those weeks, like a vacation, you'll just adjust the dates so you can still do the challenge. Part 3 is the simple debrief. We will be celebrating. This is so important. I know, like, if you're one of my people, you'll hear me say celebrate and you'll be like, okay, that's not for me. I just want to see what didn't work and fix that. But celebrating is how you create a new normal for yourself. Celebrating is how you lock in a new self-image, a new identity, a new standard that you're able to maintain. If you are worried, this is so important. If you are worried that like, okay, cool, this challenge sounds great, but then I'm just going to go back to getting in my own way. No, you won't, because in this debrief, as part of it, you will be celebrating and normalizing what you have been able to do, so that you don't have to have been in your own way as the normal anymore. And this is one of the things you will do inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done, is you will be constantly, and it's just reinforced through power planning itself and the weekly review, and clean rest is an acknowledgement of the sufficiency of where you are, and that of everything that is working. Because when we are in the insufficiency of things aren't working, we don't allow ourselves to rest because we're so far behind, and then that only further perpetuates us being so far behind, and then us feeling so tired, then it's so hard to even get ahead. Like every element of PGSD is designed to support you to lock in your new self-image as you go, so that instead of wondering like, okay, this will be good, but when am I going to fall off the wagon? You don't fall off the wagon, because being on the wagon, so to speak, like following through with your plans calmly and easily without overthinking and getting in your own way. And then if you do get in your own way, then you just get back out of it again. That becomes your normal. To be that person who is getting shit done without burning out and building a business they actually like, and where they get to be themselves in their business instead of having to feel so professional and polished, and like the only way you can succeed in business is to be someone you're not. That isn't how we work in PGSD. I'm not here to teach you. I am not here to teach you how to finally be perfect so you can be successful and finally like yourself. I am teaching you how to build a business by being yourself, so you enjoy the journey and you can have the most success possible. So with this challenge, that's it. That's the details. We start on Monday. So you want to get inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done right now. samlaurabrown.com/PGSD is where to go to sign up for the challenge and to sign up for the program. PGSD is a 12-month coaching program for perfectionists who are building businesses. And what you will do in PGSD after this challenge is continue to do that work, to power plan towards your growth goal, follow through with those plans. Everything that I've talked about in this series is the core work of Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. You will have weekly coaching where we will do all the shifting of your perfectionist thinking that might be required along the way, and coaching on your growth goal, power planning, clean rest, needle movers if you're not sure what to focus on in your time that you have for your business, and helping you when you do get in your own way, get back out of your own way. You'll hear other PGSDers getting coached on the things that you are struggling with, so that even if you're not on the call, which you don't have to be, you can be if you want to be, but you will get the full transformation just by listening to other perfectionist entrepreneurs getting coached. You have the PGSD private podcast, so you can listen to that on the go and just like power yourself up every day. By like, if you like this podcast, you are going to be obsessed with the PGSD private podcast, and being able to put that in your ears every day to power you up to get out of your own way and to get exactly what you need to hear exactly when you need to hear it. It is just so good. You have clear, simple lessons on the growth goal, power planning, clean rest, and then self-trust, self-confidence, self-image. There's a process laid out for you in the program. Like, you're going to come in, we're going to do the challenge together. That alone is worth the investment. Just doing the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge and the transformation of that is worth the investment of the program. And then you're going to have a year inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done to be fully supported to become a perfectionist who is out of their own way, who is showing up fully and confidently, who is taking action without overthinking and second guessing, who's no longer in the stopping and starting cycle, but instead you have an idea, you trust yourself to know what ideas to follow through on, you follow through on them, you're able to handle whatever feedback and reaction that you get from that. You feel more and more like yourself with every month that you have inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. And power planning connects you with yourself and what's important to you, and allows you to feel successful every week. Your growth goal, your clean rest, all of that combined allows you to become the entrepreneur that you want to be, and to close that gap between the business you know you're capable of having and the business that you actually have. As I mentioned at the top, you're smart, you're intelligent, you have a lot of knowledge. Let's put that to use. To Get Out of Your Own Way challenge is going to do exactly that. And finally, I just want to wrap up by telling you a little bit about who you're going to meet inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done as well, because I know we perfectionists can be a bit overly self-sufficient and just try to do everything ourselves and be like, well, I'm smart enough to figure this out by myself. And what I want to invite you to consider is that, yes, you are smart, but being able to do this work alongside other perfectionist entrepreneurs who are getting in their own way and learning how to get out of their own way, and who have a growth goal just like you, who are power planning just like you, who have clean rest just like you, and who are navigating all of those things to become the person who can achieve their growth goal and who is out of their own way. Having that adds so much camaraderie to business. It has you being less alone, especially if you're the only person in your business, you don't have a team, or if you have a team, they're remote, and like you don't actually have that real sense of just like when you have something to celebrate, you know, you have someone who actually gets it, or people, multiple people who actually get it, who can really celebrate you and cheer you on for that and lift you up. And then when you're down, they can pick you up without just like the platitudes of just being like, okay, well, you know, it's not so bad or whatever, but can like really deeply understand the pain of trying something and it not working out the way you hoped, and support you to pick yourself back up and try again. And just having that makes everything in business so much easier. It allows you to have more courage. It allows you to get the tedious things you need to do done. There is no downside to it. PGSD is such a safe place because like it's designed, because when I had the idea for PGSD, it was really from me doing one-on-one coaching with Perfectionist, I was fully booked and everyone was just having the same struggles, but feeling so alone because sure, they were talking to me about it. That was great. But they couldn't actually see that everyone else was literally in the same struggle too. And so not only did I just have to start the conversation from scratch every time versus in the PGSD call, like say the one we had today, I coached the first PGSD and then the second one was like, oh my God, that was so helpful. But what about this? And then we coached on that. And then the third one was like, okay, that was amazing for me too. But what about this? And so we could just take the coaching so deep, which I always love, and so practical too. So you could really explore the nuance without getting overwhelmed by it or just like in your head about like, okay, does this apply here? Like you will get all the answers to that and to know exactly what to do for you and at what time to do it. So all of that's super clear inside PGSD. But really being able to see other perfectionist entrepreneurs getting coached on procrastination, overthinking, imposter syndrome, the perfectionist thoughts that come up when it comes to selling and putting yourself out there, thoughts about pricing and have I got the right niche, and just like all those perfectionist struggles that you have been having and you've been thinking there's something wrong with you because everyone else is so clear and everyone else is so consistent and everyone else is so motivated. And to just able to be in a community with other perfectionist entrepreneurs who are just like you, who love personal development, who love learning and growing, who are smart, who are driven, who are ambitious, but who get in their own way, get in their own heads, and are just so frustrated by that and want to learn how to be able to just show up and do the damn thing without overthinking it and without working themselves into the ground. Like to just have that community is so, so powerful. It removes so much shame. And that's why I started Perfectionists Getting Shit Done and why it is a program where you can see others getting coached, because especially for us perfectionists, there is so much power in not just getting coached yourself, but in witnessing other perfectionist entrepreneurs getting coached and then bringing things to the coaching calls, and also with the challenge, seeing what comes up for others that you hadn't even realized was happening for you. And they can put words to it and maybe you hadn't even realized it was going on. Like there's so much of that. That is why PGSD is a program where you can connect with other perfectionist entrepreneurs and stop feeling alone in your business and stop feeling like you're the only one who's getting it wrong and everyone else is getting it right and has perfect messaging and a perfect niche and all the perfect things. And you're just over here being a smart person who is just fumbling through and just making such a mess of it. If that is you, I just want to invite you into PGSD so badly. Like come and join us, especially if you've heard me talking about it and you've been thinking about it and you have it on your vision board, either like physically or mentally. This is the best time to join Perfectionists Getting Shit Done, to get out of your own way with the PGSD community and to take whatever it is you'd otherwise be working on or that you've been procrastinating on and you really want to get done, and having a very clear, simple way to get that done while supporting yourself rather than working against yourself and trying to push your way through it. Let's just go from having you be in your own way to being out of your own way and learning how to release your perfectionism handbrake, and doing that with your growth goal, power planning, clear rest, coaching, and self-coaching. So samlarabrown.com/PGSD is where to go to sign up. And we begin on Monday, the 17th of August. I'm so excited. It is right around the corner. You do not have to wait for the challenge to start. It is about to start, and you are so, so welcome and so invited to join us inside. So I hope to see you inside Perfectionists Getting Shit Done for the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. I hope you found this insanely helpful. I can't wait to help you get out of your own way. If you struggle to build your business due to procrastination or overthinking, or maybe you keep burning yourself out, I want to invite you to join my program, Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. Inside, I will teach you my proven process for getting shit done as a perfectionist entrepreneur. In case you didn't know, perfectionists can't follow the same productivity advice as everyone else. When we do, we get in our own way. So let me teach you what works inside the program. It's simple and anyone can learn. To sign up today, visit visit samlaurabrown.com/PGSD. I'll see you inside.